The big three. It's three titles. Bleach, One Piece, Dragon Ball. Now I'm just playing. Bleach, One Piece, Naruto. You guys like the voice? But today I wanted to make a video because I see a lot of people bring up the big three. And I genuinely want to know, what is it about the big three that leaves people so fascinated? Now, recently, with the rise of titles like Kagurabachi, y'all like the little zing, but with the release of titles like Kagurabachi and Ichi the Witch, more and more people have been trying to push this new gen big three agenda, right? People will be like, oh yeah, Ichi the Witch, Kagurabachi, and then they'll throw in like Gachi or Centauria and be like, this is the new gen big three. And I'm genuinely trying to understand, like, do people not know what the big three is? The big three were, Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece, the three best-selling weekly Shonen Jump titles at that, time period. And I'm not really understanding why people keep bringing it up like it's the title of like Erdrick from Dragon Quest. I don't know why, people keep bringing this up. Like, I've seen somebody been like, oh, this is the dark big three, and it's like JJK, Hell's Paradise, and some other manga. But I genuinely want to know, like, what is people's fascination with this? Like, I've even seen like posts being like, oh yeah, this is the old gen big three: Dragon Ball, Yu Yu Hakusho, and Sailor Moon. And it's like, what? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, Ichi the Witch and Kagurabachi, they definitely deserve their respect, and like, they are selling in like great, like, they're doing well as titles. But I'm just not understanding why they're throwing around this big three title so like happily, like, and I don't know, maybe I sound like a hater and a Debbie Downer, but I just never really understood what the purpose of that was, because I mean, it's literally just the three best selling titles of that time. Like, and what is the criteria for this big three, right? Because I mean, technically the original big three were three weekly Shonen Jump magazine titles. So would the current new gen quote unquote big three wouldn't it have to follow by those same rules and be only weekly Shonen Jump titles? Or are we just calling it the big three because of quality? Because there's just so many factors, right? Because if that's the case, then Gachi cannot be a big three title because it's in Weekly Shonen magazine, right? It's not in Weekly Shonen Jump. So, and it's just like, even if we're basing it off quality, then it's like, well, I mean, Ichi the Witch and Kagurabachi are great, but I mean, are those the three best new gens right now? Like, just in general, like, if we're talking manga, not just Weekly Shonen Jump magazine, like, I don't think so. And I just think there's so many factors into it too, because it's like, okay, if we're not solely tying the big three, right, currently this quote unquote new gen big three, if we're not tying it to Weekly Shonen Jump, then what is the criteria? Like, is it how much money the title is making? Is it the viewership, I guess, what's the word, virality? Would that be the word? Like, the popularity? Like, what is it that makes something a part of this new gen big three? It's genuinely confusing to me, because, like, I mean, Kagurabachi and Ichi the Witch, they're definitely popular. They're definitely money makers. And I mean, but I mean, like what? I just don't understand the correlation. Like, why anybody would consider these two series and then a Gachiaka, a Centuria, or any other title of the big three. And then it's like, if you were to continue, if you were to add those other titles like a Gachi to the new gen big three, then I mean, what's stopping you from putting Dandadan or Sakamoto Days or like a Kaiju number 8 into the big three? I mean, technically, like, Dandadan and Kaiju number 8 and Chainsaw Man, like, those aren't Weekly Shonen Jump titles, but I mean, they're popular, they sell well. Like, I mean, if we're just going by the criteria, guys, but yeah, I made this like quick little calm video because it was just, this is kind of just my thoughts. Like, I've been seeing a lot of people talk about new gen big three and bring up Kagurabachi and Ichi the Witch, and I mean, if we're talking about new gen big three, wouldn't like Sakamoto Days being at least? How well is Sakamoto Days selling actually? I haven't heard anybody talk about that recently. Maybe we do a video on that. But yeah, this is kind of just me yelling at Cloud. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of been seeing this take on like my feed a lot, and I was kind of just wanted to make a video on it because it just kind of seemed interesting. But yeah, y'all boys let me know. I'm not trying to seem like a hater. What do you guys think qualifies as a new gen big three? I don't think there is a new gen big three, to be honest. I just think there's new gen popular titles. I mean, I remember when people were trying to do this with JJK, My Hero, and Black Clover and be like, oh yeah, these guys are the big three. And it's like, I mean, I guess they were the three biggest selling titles, and they were all in Weekly Shonen Jump at one point. So I guess that big three would have a better argument. But it's like, even then, I mean, the big three is the biggest three titles at that period of time. You know what I'm saying? This is why we don't include Dragon Ball in big three talks, because it wasn't an ongoing manga at that time. So I don't know, man. Y'all let me know. I'm not trying to be a hater, but let me know what is the criteria for this quote unquote new gen big three. And yeah, see y'all soon.